Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Chad, and this week, I'm very sad. Not because I wasn't wearing my vest in the last shot, but because tonight I was supposed to see the new Dragon Ball Z movie in theaters on the opening freaking night. But I underestimated the love and fandom for Dragon Ball Z, and it sold out even before the tickets were available in the line. Frick. But don't even worry about it. I already bought a ticket for next Saturday, and I'll be reviewing it for my next video. Most likely. But it got me thinking about all the steps that it takes to go from an idea to an anime in America that gets sold out and makes me sad. And that's why this week I am teaching you guys how anime is made. More specifically, how does anime get made, what is the production for it, what is the industry like, and how it differs from America. So if you've ever been interested on how that manga or light novel becomes something that everybody considers trash, this video hopefully will teach you something you don't know. But first, I think we have to define production. Production separated more or less into three areas: pre-production, in production, and post-production. Now the very first thing that has to happen is a studio or a production company has to either internally come up with a pitch or a story on their own with their own writers, or they have to acquire the rights to a manga, a visual novel, a pre-existing idea to become an anime. So the first thing they have to do is make sure that the anime will appeal to the age range that they're looking at, as well as the fan base or the fandom that they're trying to pander to, because yes, it's pandering. Also, it has to be a realistic budget. It can't be something that's probably 700 episodes off the bat, or at least not to start. Now, if all of those factors come together, then poof, they can begin pre-production. Now, in America, usually stations like ABC, MTV, other things, they typically create the show internally, obviously bringing in other production companies and all this other stuff, but it is like their show that they produce to put on their TV station. And when they kind of build one up with inside their station, what they expect is, hey, this station does such and so forth, and people consume that. So this needs to be a show that they would consume so we can sell ad revenue and merchandise and product placement sometimes. Japan works a little bit differently. Stations are tertiary from the production process. They're actually not really involved at all until the anime is finished. Once the anime is finished, then they sell it to stations for time. And what's weird is the studios pay for the time to air. When an anime goes on, the studio buys the time slot and they pay for it up front with all of the fees that they've already put into the anime. So it's a big risk off the bat. And the only way that they make money are ads during their airing, as well as merchandising. So it's very risky, but in Japan, there's a lot of money in anime, being the fandom as big as it is there. So I guess that's why it works. Who would have guessed? But now back to the Japanese way. The studio or the production company then staffs it. They get in your directors, your producers, your key animators, that sort of thing, but they also get in sponsors well before the show's even started. And this is actually the point where they start pricing merchandise. So it's literally, I mean, nothing's even been animated and they're pricing merchandise already. That should tell you how big of a profit margin they're expecting just from merchandise. Once they're fully staffed, the director brings a couple boards in, including the author and some of the other producers and writers and animators, and they start planning out the layout of the episodes. Obviously, episodes can't follow chapter format like light novels, or if it's an original creation, they're doing it from scratch. And they lay out, how's it going to start, how's it going to end, all the steps in between, and try to fit every single bit of content into such and such time slot for X amount of episodes. Once the episodes are laid out, they bring in basic designs. They bring in costumes and character development, basic story development. They're not writing it yet, but they're just coming up with the key points of the show, past what their initial ideas were when they wrote it and or acquired the rights. Now that we finished all of that awful stuff and we're already millions of yen in, we begin production. And you start production with script writing. Script writing goes through anywhere between 3 and 5 rough drafts all the way through, and it has to pass obviously the director, any and all producers that are going in, which a lot of times includes investors and sponsors, but they also have to get through the original author of the text. And then once they're all good on these 3 to 5 drafts that they have decided on, they go into storyboarding. And I don't think I have to describe storyboarding, but there are some facets to it. So there is storyboarding, and then there is layout. Storyboarding are just your general plot points, whereas layout are having these little filmy looking translucent things that they use to kind of square the frame, and the director kind of decides, well, I want this person farther back, I want them closer to the screen, I want it this angle, I want it that angle, and really refines what the exact image is. And this can take several weeks to even several months depending on the anime and how long it is. Once the director's happy with the storyboard and the layout, we begin animation. Finally! I can't believe it's taken this long. How does anything get made in this industry? And when we start animation, we start key animation, which are the keyframes of every sets of animation that set the layout. So for instance, if you are drawing something where someone is kicking somebody, and then the person's being thrown, and then he's landing against a background, the keyframes in there would be the single kick to his face, and then his impact and laying on the background. They kind of lay all these out with general feel to it, and then once those are nice, before even coloring them, they outsource the in-between animation. So if any of you Naruto fans have seen the pain fight, you'll understand how awful this is. They outsource any of the fast-moving stuff, any of the kind of in-between these key point animations, they outsource to Korea because it's cheaper labor. And the animation cost usually suffers. Once we have our very beautiful looking key animations and our, oh my god, this is awful, in-between animations done from Korea, then we go into compositing. Compositing is a word for digitalizing the frames, all of them, and then using the palette that was chosen in pre-production to paint it, which is usually a very low-paid job over there. Sorry. But this is adding in backgrounds and the various different colors that are there. Now, after all this grueling work of compositing and animations, you have an anime! Congratulations! And then we can do what we do with all animations. Throw it in the trash. Happy America. If you guys liked this video, be sure to like it down below and tell me in the comments, because I actually might make one continuing this on into how does an anime get an English dub? Or whatever I feel like. If you guys like this video, be sure to subscribe to my channel. I put out videos every Wednesday or Thursday if you are in Japan. But look out for one later this week. I have one I'm making for a fellow YouTuber called Nightcore Melody Remix, and it'll be fun. If you guys have any requests, by the way, for videos you want translated, be sure to tell me in the comments down below. I hope you learned just something fancy, and I hope to see you guys next week. I love making these videos for you, and I hope you enjoy watching them as much as I love making them. Bye-bye.